India's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval has called for a decisive global stand against terrorism and warned nations against tolerating terror sponsors. Speaking during the first International Security Forum in Moscow, Doval stressed that the world can no longer afford selective approaches in combating terror. He called on responsible nations to evaluate whether they support sponsors of terrorism or counter them with decisive action. Doval also highlighted the urgent need for reforms in the structures and institutions set up after the end of the Second World War in 1945. The NSA stressed that the reforms must give greater representation to and factor in the views of the Global South. The NSA also warned that instability in West Asia could have far-reaching consequences globally. Doval emphasized on the importance of uninterrupted trade through international waterways, including the Strait of Hormuz and the Red Sea. On the sidelines of the forum, Doval also met his Russian counterpart, Sergei Shoigu. They reviewed ongoing cooperation in defense, security, energy, and economic ties. The two sides also exchanged views on the upcoming BRICS NSA meeting in New Delhi. Separately, on the sidelines of the forum, Afghanistan's Taliban government signed a military cooperation agreement with Russia. The deal was finalized during a meeting between Afghan Defense Minister Muhammad Yaqub and Russia's Sergei Shoigu. Russia was the first country to formally recognize the Taliban government in Afghanistan. WION's assistant editor for foreign affairs, Siddhant Sibal, has sent us this report from New Delhi on the story.
The Indian NSA Ajit Doval is in Russia and addressed a key security forum. At the forum, he pointed out to three key issues. The first is on counter-terrorism and highlighted as to how there should not be any double standard on this particular issue. The second is on the issue of West Asia and the fact that Strait of Hormuz should not become a choke point. And third, of course, is the reforms of the global institutions, including UNSC. The fact that the Indian NSA is in Russia just days after the Russian foreign minister was in India showcases the continuous engagement between the two countries. We know that the Russian president Vladimir Putin is expected to travel to India in September for the BRICS summit, and the relationship, of course, continues to remain stable. Defense, energy are among the key pillars in this relationship, and at a time when the global geopolitics has seen a major change and bilateral relationship also going through major changes, India-Russia relationship is something that has remained stable, and this is something that both sides have been pointing out. With video journalist Libin, Siddhant Sibal for WION in New Delhi.